Have you ever had your heart shattered when you needed someone the most? I have, and I want to share my story with you, not for pity, but to show you how the deepest pain can become your greatest power. It's a story about hitting rock bottom and then building an empire from the rubble. It all started a few years ago. I thought I had it all figured out. I was in a long-term relationship with someone I thought was my soulmate. We'll call him Alex. We were that couple the one friends looked at for inspiration. We talked about the future, about marriage, kids, growing old together. Our lives were completely intertwined. At the same time, I was pouring my heart and soul into my dream business, a small online boutique I had started from my living room. It was my baby, my passion project, and it was finally starting to gain some traction. Life felt perfect, almost too perfect. Then, the floor fell out from under me. The market shifted unexpectedly, a huge supplier went bankrupt, and my business, the one I had built with my bare hands, started to crumble. Sales plummeted, bills piled up. The stress was immense, a constant weight on my chest. I was working 18-hour days, fueled by cheap coffee and sheer panic, just trying to keep my dream from dying. I barely slept. I lost weight. I was a ghost of my former self, running on fumes and desperation. Through all of this, I thought I had Alex. I thought he was my rock, the one person who would hold my hand and tell me we'd get through it together. But as the financial pressure mounted, he started to change. He became distant, critical. The man who once celebrated my every little win now sighed with exasperation when I talked about my struggles. He'd say things like, "Are you sure this is worth it? Or maybe you should just get a regular job." His words felt like tiny paper cuts, each one stinging more than the last. The support I desperately needed was replaced by doubt and judgment. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I remember it so clearly. I had just gotten another final notice in the mail. I was sitting on the floor, surrounded by boxes I couldn't afford to ship, and I just broke down. I was sobbing, feeling like a complete and utter failure. Alex walked in, took one look at me, and said the words that would haunt me for months. "I can't do this anymore. I can't be with someone who is so broken." Broken, that's how he saw me. Not as a fighter, not as someone going through a tough time, but as something damaged beyond repair. He packed a bag and left that night, just like that. The silence in the apartment was deafening. It was the sound of my world collapsing. I was at my absolute lowest point. I had lost my business, and now I had lost the man I loved. I felt completely and utterly alone. For a few weeks, I let the grief consume me. I barely got out of bed. I ignored calls from friends and family. The darkness was overwhelming. What was the point of even trying anymore? But then, one morning, something shifted. I looked at my reflection in the mirror, tired, heartbroken, and yes, broken. But as I stared into my own eyes, a tiny spark ignited. It was anger, a fiery, righteous anger. How dare he leave me when I was down? How dare he define me by my struggle? His parting words, "I can't be with someone so broken," echoed in my head. But this time, they didn't crush me. They fueled me. I thought, broken? I'll show you broken. I decided then and there that I wouldn't let this be the end of my story. I wouldn't let his judgment be my reality. My revenge wouldn't be about screaming or crying or begging him to come back. My revenge would be my success. The greatest revenge, I realized, is living a life so full, so happy, and so successful that his absence becomes completely irrelevant. That day, I got up, I took a shower, I put on my favorite outfit, even though I had nowhere to go. I made a pot of coffee and sat down with a notebook. I wasn't just going to salvage my business. I was going to reinvent it. I channeled all the pain, all the anger, all the sleepless nights into a laser-focused determination. I stopped seeing my situation as a failure and started seeing it as a clean slate, a forced reboot. I reached out to my network, swallowing my pride and asking for help. I connected with other small business owners. I learned new marketing strategies. I took online courses to sharpen my skills. I rebranded my entire boutique, focusing on a niche I was truly passionate about. I started sharing my story, my authentic journey of struggle and resilience, on social media. I was vulnerable, and people responded to that. My story resonated. Slowly, but surely, things started to turn around. A small order came in, then another, and another. Each sale felt like a monumental victory. Each positive comment felt like a balm on my wounded heart. I was working harder than ever, but this time, it wasn't from a place of panic. It was from a place of power. I was building this for me, not for him, not to prove him wrong, but to prove myself right, to prove that I was capable, strong, and whole, all on my own. About a year later, my business wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. It was bigger and more successful than I had ever dreamed. I had a small team, a beautiful new office space, and a community of loyal customers who loved what I was creating. I was financially independent and emotionally resilient. I was happy, genuinely, deeply happy. The kind of happiness that comes from within, not from someone else's approval. And then, of course, the inevitable happened. An email popped into my inbox. The sender, Alex. The subject line was just my name. My heart did a little flip, a ghost of the past. He said he'd seen how well I was doing. He said he was proud of me. He said he made a huge mistake and that he missed me. And he asked if we could get coffee and talk. For a split second, the old me wanted to gloat. I wanted to write back a scathing reply detailing just how wrong he was. But as I looked around my office, at the business I had built from my own ashes, I realized I didn't feel angry anymore. I felt nothing. His opinion no longer mattered. His validation was no longer something I craved. I wrote back a simple, polite response. Thank you for reaching out. I wish you all the best, but I've moved on. And I hit send without a second thought, because I had. My success wasn't my revenge on him. It was my revenge on the situation, on the self-doubt, on the feeling of being broken. The ultimate success was realizing that my happiness was never tied to him in the first place. My story isn't about getting back at an ex. It's about getting back to yourself. It's about understanding that your lowest moments do not define you. They can, in fact, refine you. They can be the catalyst for your greatest transformation. If you're going through something similar right now, if you feel broken and abandoned, please hear me. You are not broken. You are in the process of becoming. Let that pain be your fuel. Let your success be your beautiful, glorious revenge. Build a life so amazing that you forget you were ever hurt, because you deserve it. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, I'd love it if you hit that like button and subscribe for more content about turning struggles into strengths. I'll see you in the next video.